As you know, I went to Cliff College on the 1st of June to deliver my story within the narrative framework of the My Story Reframe training led by Barry Woodward, who founded Proclaim Trust 27 years ago at that exact college. It was nice to experience the venue where the vision that Barry had all those years ago was conceived, and to see the work that he does now as a result of his vision. It was an inspiration to myself and undoubtedly everybody else who took part. After that day at Cliff College, where I can't lie to you, my nerves were on full tilt, I've got every faith that my story in its finished format will reach others in one capacity or another and hopefully do some good. So will those of the 7 other participants, each and every one of them with struggles and hardships and ultimately recovery and redemption through the grace of God. It was incredible. My fellow candidates were brilliant, and the stories genuinely touched me for different reasons, while the impact was just as profound for each and every one. So, to you guys, it was an honour. Trainers were amazing with the feedback, and although I hadn't directly worked with all of them, they all have their own stories of a similar nature to share with us with a passion as well. You know, with that narrative storytelling that I can only hope to match. Barry, the main man, Alistair, who I had a chat with beforehand, which really sort of opened me up for the day, Alison, whose effortless charisma is awe-inspiring, and whose perseverance and tenacity is, second to none. The whole day was just brilliant. There's Claire, who was a big part of the reason the whole day was made possible, with all the information we needed to not just arrive, but to be ready to go on the day. And of course John, who opened for us with prayer and devotional, where we were encouraged to read passages, from the Bible, but read it prayerfully, which really helped us all engage right from the start. So thank you all. And if you're interested, there's a few clips from my speech that'll pop up now. God bless and take care.
I'm frozen stiff, staring down the barrel of a 22 caliber pistol, which won't stop a tank, but it'll kill me stone dead. I could smell the grease on the gun, to remember it. I never said a word, just stood there in silence. And he goes, "So what now?" And my backside fell out then. But I was glad of the second chance that it seemed I'd been presented with. Alcoholism, fights, arguments, all the normal stuff that sort of runs parallel with an alcoholic mother surrounded by alcoholics. So I didn't take people back, and the way I combated that was just don't make friends. Homemade artillery flying across the room. Years later I realised cups and crockery and pots don't naturally take flight. Something in me gets suppressed, but the problem is something else in me wakes up. Like a drug, it was a fix, that's what it was. Nightclubs, cocaine, smoking weed, the stuff we've all done, the odd pill or two, and waking up in bushes far more often than a grown-up should have to admit to. You've got a problem, Mike. No. You've got the problem. I'm alright. I knew I could handle the drink, so I drank more. Can stop any time I want to. I just don't want to. I should have known when I went kicking off at my then girlfriend's house, only to get bounced on by 3 officers, who to this day I maintain they did materialise out of nowhere. That's where there was an assault on an officer that took place, which I'll forever be embarrassed about because it was a female officer. Shortly after that, it was a bit of a wake-up call. My luck began to turn. And I got with the woman I'd had my heart set on for quite a while. And we had kids. And I got off the booze at that time. I thought, this is definitely why we got together. I should be sober. So for a while I did, until I didn't. It's alright, she won't know. But then pass out on the floor. So of course she knows. My skin started to go yellow, my eyes were dead, and I felt so guilty and ashamed that I drank more. Go figure. Nearly lost all of them. That was another second chance. It all came to a head when one night I just sort of gave up the ghost of a line. In tears at the back doorstep at home. I'd had enough. I wanted rid of this affliction. Like many of you have been in that position. But I couldn't do it myself. So I started to look up. Snot bubbles. Flag hanging out my mouth, soaking wet with tears. I'm just saying, you've got to take this from me. Please. If you're there, I know you can do it if the stories are true. Please take it from me, because I can't do it. I keep lying. I'm scared. I'm alone in this, I can't do it. And then morning came. And it was 6 o'clock. Which is bizarre, I'm not an early bird. So anyway, I got up and I goes into the kitchen for the cans of lager out of the fridge. Then I got the whiskey out of the cupboard. And I walked into the back downstairs toilet, where I spent all my time being sick. So the first can goes down the hatch, toilet hatch. Second one, bosh, third one. Then I twisted the whiskey cap, started pouring that. I wanted to do it, I was doing it with a smile on my face. And there was a presence in there with me. I can't tell you what that was to this day. I can attribute it to where I believe it's from. But as soon as the last drop of whiskey that toilet, it left. It was like it was there to support me through this. And as soon as it did leave, it was like, it felt as though it was the conclusion to years of suffering. This entity, this being, if you want to call it that, saw me through that conclusion to years of suffering and then left. I prayed. I realised that the crying I was doing on the doorstep the night before was effectively a prayer. I just didn't know it then. And the funny thing is that God answered. I needed him to take the alcohol away. And so that's what he did. I asked him in blind faith, and he took it away. I read my Bible daily, take part in prayer groups wherever I can, and we've since found out we're expecting a baby girl. Another one, number 4. Back to the pistol. Staring down at him, and he's asking me, so what now? And speaking of, in the interest of speaking of second chances, like I've been given time and time again, God gave me another second chance. So the answer to what now is, well, let's find out. I'm Martin. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. So I have work to do with mine. So I'm going to kick off